Hi, it's Elizabeth from Tyne Valley Motorhomes, and today we'll be doing the handover video of the Chausson 724 E-Tap. Next we've got your cassette locker. So as long as the blade on the inside of the toilet is closed, you'll be able to pull the orange handle up and slide your cassette locker out. And then to empty, you just want to twist the cap off. And then when you're emptying, push in this orange button. This just allows some air in and stops it from plugging. Then you want to give it a good swirl around with some clean water and then put some blue or green liquid in your cap and then back onto the cassette ready for use again. Just above your back wheel on the driver's side we've got your external gas point. So as long as you've got the gas flow in the vehicle, you can then connect your external barbecue point to your Kadak and barbecue using the adapter and a length of hose, and then turn the red handle from horizontal to vertical so it's the same way as the spout, and then you'll be able to use your Kadak and barbecue outside. At the back of the vehicle on the driver's side we've got your gas locker. So this will hold one 6 kilogram gas bottle. When you are connecting your pigtail, remember it's left to tighten, right to loosen, and you'll need a spanner just to nip it up really tight. And then to turn the gas flow on and off, it's just this dial on the top here. Behind the back wheel under the vehicle, you've got your wastewater drain off point. So if you pull the grey handle, you'll see the water coming out of your wastewater tank. So you want to do this when you're leaving a site, so you're not travelling home with the extra weight of wastewater. But also when you're winterising your vehicle, you don't want to leave any water in the tanks over winter to freeze and cause frost damage. At the back of the vehicle we've got your large garage door leading into your garage. So in here we've got your 2 infill cushions, we've got your carpet, your awning handle, your hookup cable and a couple of extras. And we've also got your D-rings so you can tie things down in the garage and make them secure. We've also got a light as well in the back here. At the back of the vehicle at the top we've got your window for your rear bed. And then we've got 2 bike rack bars in case you wanted a bike rack adding at a later date. Right at the bottom here we've got your reversing camera. The other side, your garage. Next we've got your external shower point. So you'll need the water pump turned on the inside of the vehicle and your fresh water tank full, and then you just push the connector on for the external shower. When you're disconnecting you just want to push the gold circle back and then your shower will pop off, and then you can close the lid just so nothing gets into your external shower point. Next we've got your locker with a couple of different things in. So first thing we've got your freshwater filler point. So you want to unscrew the cap and then pop a hose pipe down the spout to fill up your freshwater tank. You'll need some adapters and the length of hose pipe, as some sites just provide a brass tap. So to empty your freshwater tank, whether you're winterising your vehicle or if you're just not using your van for a couple of weeks over the summer months, just drain your freshwater tank so the water doesn't go stagnant. All you have to do is pull this handle up and the water will come out under the vehicle here. On the other side of the locker we have your trip switches and we have your fuses. So it's always a good idea to take some extra fuses with you on holiday. In case any of them blow you can easily replace them and then you're not left without lights or your fridge working. And then if you are hooked up and you're not receiving power in the vehicle, you can press this button here. If it trips the vehicle it means there's something within the vehicle that's gone wrong. However, if it doesn't trip, it means there's either an issue with your hookup cable or the mains coming into your vehicle. Next we've got your hookup point. So you want to lift the collar on the hookup cable and then just align it to the vehicle and then slide it on. When you're disconnecting, you want to just push this little blue lever down and then slide the cable off. Always remember to connect your cable to the vehicle first and then the mains, and then when disconnecting, disconnect from the mains and then the vehicle so you're never walking around with a live lead. Next we've got your Truma gas vent when you're heating on your water. So when you get to a site you want to make sure that you take the cover off, and then when you turn your hot water on with gas, all the fumes will come out of the vent. Always make sure that you put the cap back on before you travel anywhere. It just stops any dirt or anything getting into the vent when you're travelling. If you do get to a site and you've forgotten to take the cover off and you do turn your hot water on with gas, it's alright, it'll just fault. All you have to do is come out, take the cap off, give it a few minutes, let all the fumes dissipate, and then you can put the switch back on, turn your hot water back on with gas, and it will heat from there. Next we've got your diesel and AdBlue. So you don't need your ignition key to open the cap, as it's just a push cap on your diesel filler. And then when you're filling up your AdBlue, if you go to a petrol station where they take Arctic lorries, you'll be able to get AdBlue on the pump, but you can also buy it in drums as well. To open the bonnet, you'll need your ignition key, and then you just pop it in the front here, turn it left to release, and then turn it right, and then lift the bonnet up to access underneath. And under the bonnet, the main things you want to focus on is your screen washer fluid, you've got your brake fluid, your oil, your dipstick, and we've got your engine coolant on the other side, and then we've got your positive here, and negative down here if you need to give or receive a jump start. First thing you want to do when you get into your vehicle is turn your main control panel on, and then from here you can turn your internal lights on and off, and then you also have rocker switches around the vehicle to turn them off individually. Then we have your water pump, and then we also have your awning light here. Below we've got your levels, so you can check your leisure battery levels, your vehicle battery, your water levels, and you can also dim the panel down to make it less bright on a night time when you're sleeping. To use your heating system, you can use this dial here to scroll through and select what you want. So if you want heating, it's the 3 wavy lines, and you click. So you can either have it on boost, normal, or eco. And then you've got temperature, so you can scroll from 35, you can scroll all the way down to about 5 degrees. Just got to make sure that the temperature you select is higher than the temperature outside, otherwise it won't kick in. Then when you press, this little button here will turn green. This means that your heating's working. If it turns red, it means that it's failed, and this could be because you've run out of diesel if you've got less than a quarter of a tank. If that happens, just refill. You might have to bleed the system again, but just keep turning it on until the light goes green and your heating will be working again. If you don't want to use your heating, you can scroll across to ventilation. You've got a few different levels. You've got level 1 to 4. 4 is the highest. And then you can have it for a max duration, or you can set it for a certain amount of time. And then this will go blue. This just blows the air around the vehicle instead of heating it. To use your fridge, you want to turn it on by holding the on button down. And then from here, you can select what energy source you want by holding down the square button. And then when it flashes, you can pick either auto, so it will go automatically select either hookup, gas or vehicle, or you can manually pick hookup, vehicle battery or gas. And then you can also change the temperature by holding the square button down and then selecting 1 to 5. 5 is the coldest. This can sometimes be too cold and freeze your food, so once you've got it to temperature, about 3 is good enough to keep your food nice and cold. You might not be able to see the steam, but the water is hot and up to temperature. Here we've got your 2 gas burner hobs working. Once you've used them and turned them off, make sure the metal's fully cooled before you put the glass lid down, otherwise it will shatter. Here we've got your oven working on gas. And here we've got your grill working on gas. In the cupboard above your sink, we've got your hot water switch on gas. So when you push the switch up to the top, it will heat the water to 50 degrees. When you push it down, it will heat the water to 70 degrees. Before doing this, you want to make sure you've got your gas vent cover off and you've got your flow of gas through the vehicle, so you've got it working through your oven and your grill before you can turn it on. To make your bed up in the back of the vehicle, you want to pull the base of the bed frame out. So you want to grab both handles and gently pull the base of the bed all the way out. And then once it's secure, you can then pull one of the mattresses across. And there you have your double bed made up in the back of the vehicle, ready to sleep on. And then in the morning, when you want to put the bed back, you just want to put your mattress back on top of the other one. And then you just want to push the bed frame back. And then you can access into the garage. You can access your shelves with your step as well. Your drawers. And then more shelves and your ladders to get into the bed. And then we've also got some hanging rail as well, so you can hang any clothes that you need to. In the bathroom, we've got your shower with your skylight, and then we've also got a hanging rail, so you can hang any wet towels or clothes, and then you've got a basin for them to drip dry in. And then in the bathroom, we've got your sink, got your nice large mirrors with your cupboards, another skylight and another drying rail. Below we've got your toilet. When you're flushing, you want to make sure you've got your water pump turned on, and then you get a flow of water into the basin. And then when you're ready to flush, pull the grey lever forward to open and close the blade. Always keep the blade and the lid shut so you don't get any smells coming up through your vehicle. Just in front of your sink, we've got your two switches for your table and your bed. So when you press the down arrow on the table, the table will come all the way down. And then for your bed, press the down arrow and the bed will drop down, and you can stop the bed at whatever height you want it at. So you can either have it where you need the ladders to get into bed, or you can bring it all the way down to the ground. You just have to remove the cushions on the backrests to get it all the way down to the ground, so you can just sit onto the bed instead of using the ladders, which are just underneath the mattress. And then you've also got the netting as well if you're having the bed higher up, so you don't roll out and hurt yourself. When you're done with the bed in the morning, push the arrow up and the bed will rise back to the roof. Same for the table, bring the table back up to be able to use it. When you want to use a table as a dining table, you can fold the corners out. So then you've got a larger table to use. And then when you don't need the large table, fold the corners back over. So you've got room to move around into the cab area. Behind the passenger seat, underneath the lounge area, you've got your boiler drain down valve. Underneath we've got your boiler drain down. So when you're winterising your vehicle, you want to make sure there's no water left in your boiler over winter to freeze and cause frost damage. So you just lift the boiler lever up, wait till it's all drained out, and then you can leave it open through the winter. And just remember to shut it back down when you come to use it again in summer, otherwise all the water will drain out and you won't be able to have any hot water. To turn your lounge area into your travelling seat, you want to remove all 4 cushions and just pop them to one side for a couple of minutes, as you'll need 2 of them later on. So once you've removed your cushions, to get your travelling seat up, you want to twist this black handle backwards and at the same time lift up the back of this chair. And then once it's in the upright position, you can release the belt buckle and pop it to one side. And then you want to grab one of the base cushions that has a slight cutout in it. So here it's got a slight L in the back. This is to go over the two Isofix points. And then you also want to get one of the cushions as the backrest. And then your travelling seat's ready for use. So in your settings, in the radio settings, you can pick specific things you want to come on. So you can have traffic announcements. You can have news announcements. You can have your radio text. You can have your EPG. You can have slideshow. And quite a few others. So if you select them to come on, they will come on. If you turn them off, they won't appear. The next one is clock settings. So obviously here you can change the hour, change the minutes, go from AM to PM. You can either have it on a 24-hour mode or a 12-hour clock, depending on your preferences. You can have your auto time updated, or if you're going on holiday and you want to change it yourself, you can change it automatically or manually. If you want to add your phone to the radio,
search for your vehicle on your device and select it once it is found.
You can follow the instructions on the radio and on your phone to link the phone to the radio through Bluetooth. You've also got your general settings, so you can change your language. You can change your temperature from Celsius to Fahrenheit. It'll also show your tyre pressures in bar, kPa and PSI. You can turn the beep on and off if you touch things, if you want to. You've got your sync information, you can send feedback, and you can even reset if you want to. Next thing you can adjust in settings is sound. So if we turn the radio up, you can increase different things like your mid-range or your bass. So if you turn your bass up, there'll be a slightly stronger bass sound. You can also change your adaptive volume off, low, medium or high. Next one is display. So you can increase or decrease the brightness. And then you can even you can pick day mode, which will have the back screen white. You can pick night, which is the dark blue, or you can have it in auto, so it will automatically go white background for the day and then a dark blue background for the night. The next one is your vehicle settings. So you've got your serial number, you've got your remote start, if you've got your Ford Pass connected. You can have your wipers set to rain sensing on the screen or off. You can change the brightness of the cockpit. You have dark or all the way up to the full brightness. You've got your lock, so you can pick whether it auto locks itself, it doesn't unlock itself. And you obviously turn your passenger airbags on and off. Your next one is connectivity. So you can connect through data or analytics. You've obviously got your phone to Bluetooth, wireless app projection, and then you've got your Wi-Fi. So next we've got the vehicle hotspot. You can go through different settings through here. And you can see your data usage, and then turn the hotspot on and off. Emergency assist would be used if you've been in an accident, so you can preset it so that if you are in an accident, the device will try and connect you to emergency services through any phones that have been connected or paired to the radio. You can also put your vehicle in valet mode. The software updates means you can get your updates through the radio, so you can check if it's ready to be updated, or you can even just put it on automatic updates, which will update everything when you are connected to the internet. Last one in your settings is the Ford Assist. So you can wake the Ford Assist. You can set a specific word, such as OK Ford. You can select a preferred wake word. You've got your advanced mode. And a couple of other voice command bits that you can look through as well. Next thing we're going to look at is the features. So we've got drive modes. So here you can select whether you want to drive normal, eco, slippery and sort of wet weather conditions or icy conditions, and then towing. The next one is your driver assistance. So you've got your auto start stop, you've got your traction control, you've got your speed limit assistant, you've got your lane keeping system, pre-collision assist, you've got your rear view camera, you even got wrong way alert, and then finally driver alert. The last one is owner's manual, so you can flick through all the different categories to find the information that you require. The next one we're going to look at is apps. So you can go through your Apple
Search
CarPlay.
for your vehicle on your device and select it once.
You have Android
Search for your
Auto.
vehicle on your device and
You've got help if you need some help. And you can also search for other mobile apps, but you will need Wi-Fi or Bluetooth to be connected. On the left hand side, it will also tell you your driving. So it will give you out of 100% your acceleration, your deceleration and your speed. If you scroll down, it will show you if you're paired to a phone, and if you scroll down again, it'll just show you what radio station you are currently listening to. If you want to change radio stations, you can easily scroll through, or if you click this little magnifying glass, it will come up with a list of all the stations available, and you can scroll through and find the one you want to listen to. Running along the bottom of your radio is your climate control. So on the far left, you've got your fan speed. So you can have all the way off to 7. You can then turn your AC on or off. You can even pick where you want the air to go, so you can have it on your windscreen, your body, your legs, or you can have it on all 3. You can have the blowers on max from here as well. You've got auto, so you can pick the different levels down here as well. You can circulate the air on the inside of your vehicle, and then on the far right you've got temperature, which from about 30 degrees, and then you can scroll all the way down to about 15 degrees. Once you've taken the keys out of your ignition after driving, or if you've just been using radio, it won't turn off with the on and off button. It just turns the audio on and off. So to get the radio to shut down and turn off, you want to open your driver's door. You'll see there, it it's turned off. When you want to go from park to reverse or drive, you just turn the dial round and you'll see that the light comes on. If you want to go to manual, just press the button in the middle and it will be on drive manual, and then click the button again to go off. When you pop it into reverse, you'll hear the beeping and your reversing camera will come on your dashboard. The dash in front of your steering wheel works fairly similar. If you press your 3 buttons here, you can scroll through your different settings.